What are some of the thoughts, Seton Hall this weekend? What are some of the thoughts as you are preparing for this game?
Going in to prepare for this game, we know it's going to be a tough game. Seton Hall is known for their toughness. They rebound the ball pretty well, and they have good guard play, so it's definitely going to be a tough one, especially playing at their home.
Does Tariq play as hard in practice as he does in games?
Yeah, he's an energy guy, high energy guy. He brings it each and every day in each and every game.
Was he like that last year?
Yeah, he was actually good for us last year because even though he couldn't play, just having him in practice, competing each and every day was good.
Did guys ever get tired and be like, yeah, it's practice, relax?
Yeah, they might have. I mean, I'm a guard, so I don't know.
When you have someone who plays as hard as him every day, what does that do for the team? And do you think that's, I know early in the year there was kind of, coaches were saying, we need to play harder. How much do you think he's helped you guys as a whole with his energy?
Tremendously. I mean, he's one of the leaders on this team, as an older guy. And, he has the experience in Division I already. And him just bringing, that energy and that fight each and every day feeds off of everyone else, including myself. So, just having a high energy guy like Tariq, and he's your, one of your leaders is always good.
Tariq, was that something you kind of had to develop, the effort, or is that something you feel like you always had?
Coming to high school, I had effort, and I always had a motor and energy, but it's definitely something I developed my freshman year in college, being down in Tennessee, and it just carried over. And then it just makes it easier to play hard here because with our coaching staff, they're easy to play for. It makes you want to go hard.
Why do you think you developed that at Tennessee? What made you develop that?
Just being in the SEC, it was a different kind of style from the transition from high school going into college and going to the SEC where it's kind of like big dominant. They have a lot of bigs down there, so I had to really adjust how I played coming out of high school.
I heard that when you were in high school once, Jay Wright was at one of your games and it was like, if you want to get to the NBA, you have to be an energy guy and play defense, and that kind of had a big impact on you.
Especially being early on, hearing something like that, knowing that I was developing my defense, and I had that motor that people seen. Just hearing that, it just changed my mindset. Hearing that from a college coach and being recruited, so it's just something that I took into note, and it helped me along.
Do you remember when, was that like the sophomore year, junior year? Do you remember when that was?
I believe that was my sophomore year, or summer. I believe like summertime-ish.
And what you said, it kind of really sunk in. Did that kind of change the way you played? I mean, hearing that about, you got to be an energy guy, you got to play defense. I mean, what kind of impact do you think it had?
It had a pretty big impact. I mean, I try to listen to what I'm told, and hearing something like that from Jay Wright, it's he's a really good coach. So just going through that recruiting process and hearing something like that, it's just something that you take into account because it's somebody who's looking at you who possibly wants you to come to their program, and that may be something that they're looking for, and it's something that other coaches may be looking for. So.
Malik, you obviously scored a career high against DePaul. What does it mean for the team when you guys have, I think there were 4 guys in double digits against DePaul? What does it mean to have 4 or 5, 6 guys on any given night that can go off and take the lead in the scoring?
It's great, just having so many talented guys on this team, and we're all so young, so it's just always good. A lot of teams, do scouting on, the leading scorers, this guy and that guy. But we have so many options that, we're a hard team to guard. So, just having, so many options on this team is just great for us.
How are the younger guys dealing with, you're now in the thick of your Big East schedule, you got 2 tough road games coming up. How are the younger guys trying to deal with that, and how do you help them out?
Just take it day by day, really. Each game at a time. We have a tough one Sunday versus Seton Hall. And just making sure that we're all prepared. And, as the older guys on this team, as the leaders, we just gotta make sure everybody is just focused on each and every game. You just gotta take one step at a time.
So your confidence, your freshman year, you didn't play a ton of Tennessee, and then you sat out last year. Do you feel like, have you surprised yourself at all this year with what you've been able to do? And how would the last few games, the way you've been playing, what kind of confidence is that giving you?
Am I surprised at the way I'll be playing? I wouldn't say surprised because I sat out last year, and this is sort of what we worked towards last year. I sat out all the workouts, all the extra time in the gym, not being able to play in the games, when the team's on road trips, working out. So I wouldn't say surprised, but I didn't think I would have this big of an impact. I knew that I would be a guy coming in. I would have to do some things, but I knew I blocked a lot of shots. I knew I could play defense, but I didn't really expect it to be to this level, to block as many shots as I am. It was always one of my goals to, be a leading shot blocker, but to really see that come into fruition and really be doing it is pretty good.
Does playing alongside Kasum help in your defense and in your shot blocking, just knowing that you have another tree down the post to help you out?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Especially because it makes the other teams more hesitant coming down there, especially if me and Kasum are playing together, because if you get past one, you still have to worry about getting past another, where most teams, they might have one shot blocker down there. But with us, if we're both in the game at the same time, it's two of us down there. So it makes it really difficult for teams to get down there and score.
Guys ever get tired of your energy in practice?
I wouldn't say guys get tired of it. I mean, we're in the gym to make each other better. So, get tired of it? No, because we're all fighting for the same thing, for the same goal. But, I can be a bit of a pest, though.
The energy you bring, games, practices. You said it was something you started kind of your freshman year. You think that's a skill? I mean, some guys need to learn how to play hard. It seems like you have that.
Yeah, playing hard can be a skill, or some people look at it as it's a mindset. That's just something that you have to be geared up to do. Because there's some people who you may see who are really skilled and it just looks so easy, so natural, and it may look like they're just going through the motions. Or some people just play hard and play an aggressive style of play. Like, not everybody's going to dive on the floor for a ball, or not everybody's going to go flying out of bounds with the ball. Not everybody does it, because you don't see it, and that's why it sticks out so much. But
did you learn it from someone? Someone instilled it in you?
No. My dad just always told me, when you're out there, the ball is the most important thing, and all the people I've trained with, that's all I've ever been told, get the ball at all costs. And that's something I learned at Tennessee. Practice, it was no out of bounds. So the biggest thing was get the ball. So that's how come I'll dive out of bounds to get the ball, because that's what I'm used to. There was no out of bounds in practice. AAU, there was no out of bounds in practice. So going after the ball, that's just something that I've always had to do.
You said, you've kind of surprised yourself offensively. As you have these big games, you kind of almost, how do you feel now out there, especially on the offensive end? Is your kind of feel like there's no limit? Must be a nice feeling to be doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Just my confidence is rising after sitting out for a year. The field wasn't all the way there. I didn't play in games for a whole year, so I had to get the feel back and get used to playing in the games and get used to making moves in games and adjusting to the speed all over again. So I think now I'm starting to finally get really adjusted and get into the flow of the game. And playing with my teammates all year, they've just been telling me all year, we know what you can do, so do what you can do in the games. They'll tell me, you have the shot, shoot it. So I've just been listening to my teammates, listening to the coaches, and just trying to get into the flow more.